Live from the Spill Studios, located behind a liquor store off the I-35 interchange, it's time once again for a couple of cold ones with Corey and Carlisle.
And Nick Hodges.
Hi, Nick Hodges.
All right.
He's our silly British sidekick.
Yeah.
Taking the piss out of my accent, will you?
I didn't say anything.
Just wait.
Yeah. It's only just begun, too. It's like not even 5 minutes into it.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't think he's really British. I think it's all an act.
He's just doing that to pick up chicks.
Dude, I walked in, he was brushing his teeth.
You cheeky bugger, man.
Tell me I'm lying. I walked in, he's brushing his teeth. That guy's not British.
I know. If he was really British,
Maybe he's Australian. I don't know.
No, he would have had a chisel to his mouth if he was really British.
I was like, good eye, mate.
Yeah.
You know, I love crocodiles and all that.
British dentistry is like going mining for gold or some shit. You gotta get a pickaxe and no, hey man. See, I've never said anything until he started. I never said you got nice teeth.
Thank you.
Dude, if you're sitting in on a cocoa, you're taking your fucking licks. That's just how it works.
Well, I think it's fair because, you know, whenever Corey is like in London and I take the piss out of him big time, I actually get complaints from other people on the site when I say some so stupid
Do you?
shit.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Of course you know.
Leave me
I do it to your
alone,
face.
man. I got my friends out there, you know, I got a whole gang of people ready to whoop your ass. You keep messing with me.
And they're all 14.
Hey,
much.
but they're scrappy.
Scrappy 14-year-old
They'll
boys,
bite your
yeah.
kneecaps off. You better be careful. Not so it's funny because Carla was like, "Who the fuck is this?" I was like, "This is Nick Hodges." I said, "You never heard of Nick? Everybody's heard of Nick."
I have not heard of Nick.
I'm amazed you have not heard of Nick. In fact, you don't know anything that's going on right now.
I know
came in, you're
nothing.
like, what's going on with the party?
Yeah, I was like, what's up with this party thing? And you're like, what do you mean, what's up? I'm like, you haven't told me shit. I haven't gotten an email. Nobody's talked to me. Nobody said, hey, you should be here at this time to hang out with everybody. I know nothing except that this weekend, there's one weekend this month that you guys are all getting together and crazy ass fucking bastards are coming down to hang out with
People
us.
in Australia know about this party.
Yeah, there's an Aussie coming.
Yeah, and yet I know shit.
And you were right down the street and you don't know anything.
I know
how does this happen?
Because you suck as an administrator.
Oh, because everybody else knows, but everybody knows. Everyone knows. I mean,
Well, I guess maybe if I were hanging out in some special party group where, you know, everybody's talking about it, yeah, but, you know, you'd think since I kind of have to be there that maybe I get an email or something.
I have talked about this in front of you with Leon and Cyrus.
You've told me that there were going to have like hamburgers and hot dogs on Sunday or something, but you didn't tell me where or when or... I don't even know what happens on Saturday.
Okay. Well,
there better be a party. I flew all the way over here.
The party's going to be on September 1st at 8 o'clock. And no, no, we're going to here. You know what?
That's actually closer to my party.
Oh, that's right. Your birthday's coming up.
Our birthdays are coming up.
That's true. No, that's true.
You and I have birthdays on consecutive days.
We should do something on the same day this year. At some place, unless you just have
possible. Well, I usually throw a big party. I didn't last year because I'd moved into the house, but this year I'll probably do something again.
Well, let me know. I'm gonna crash that shit. I'm gonna invite all my cousins to come eat your food. Let me go ahead and pull up the top 5 here, and when we get through the top 5,
top 5,
I'll fill you in on everything. The top 5. Did I say something wrong?
The top 5. Brought to you, Bill.
There we go. You see, you witnessing the magic. Nick is over here just laughing. Look at him.
No, it's just like, I can't believe I'm here with, Corey and Carlo.
And I'm sitting here going, I can't believe he's sitting in a room with a pair of douchebags like that. Like, this is awesome. It's like, dude, this fucking sucks.
I just love the look on his. Who the fuck is this guy?
No, you should have seen him outside. He was like, hello? It's just like, well, how you doing, mate?
You're like walking up to me with a cigarette. I'm like, I don't know this guy. And he's got an accent. And okay. And you're like, I'm Nick. Yeah. And I'm like, great.
Well, I
have no
assume
idea.
that he said something like...
He doesn't tell me shit.
Okay. Right.
I just...
in fact, we almost had a little internet tiff today. It was one of those beautiful things. Or you sent me an email saying, hey, anybody have a problem coming at 5 o'clock? And I sent an email back saying, nope. And you sent me back this email saying, fine. Well, what time do you want to come over then?
No, I didn't mean it like, well, fine.
That's not and then a few minutes later I get, oh, never mind. Ignore that last email. I was in the middle of composing a carefully worded, dude.
Yeah, no, if I had actually been talking to you, it would have been like, fine. what time would you like to come then? That's the kind of tone I had. I don't know what. Fine. What the fuck time you want to come then, bitch? No, it meant to be like very nice. And then I did send it back saying, oh, okay, right, all right. You know, I send so many emails off in the day, I get mixed up, man. Now, if I had said, fuck you, what time do you want to come over? Then that would have been, that's the tone.
I can read the fuck you in your tone. We've been working together way too long.
Okay, then let me.
So why don't we get into number 5?
Number 5. Dang, you caught me off guard. I'm not ready yet. Number 5 is no. I got it now. Here, I got it. It's here. I see it. Here? Funny People.
Funny People. Big drop. 65% drop.
Yes, major drop, man. It brought in $7.9 million. It's already up to $40 million, but that is a huge drop from last week, because last week the movie was number 1.
Yeah. No, it went from 1 to 5.
And it made 20-something million last week.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's a major drop.
It's a really good movie. Really disappointed to see it make a drop like that. But what do you expect? It's not... it really was more of a fall movie, and they just released it in a summer slot.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. I guess because they thought Adam Sandler would draw people in. But then Adam Sandler, his fans looking at it and saying, well, he's not running through here farting and talking like a retarded child. And
he's not talking out of one side of his mouth. Because it's like... In this movie, I talk out of this side of my mouth. And then in this movie, I talk out of this side of my mouth.
Oh, that side is like, one side is what you just did. There's shot him, but the other side is, whoa, I'm Adam Sandler. I'm a retarded child.
And this time he's like, hey, look, I have a real voice. And it's like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, that's what happens, man. You play retarded too. See, I guess he went full retard in one of those movies, and people can't deal with it now.
Little Nicky, he came close, but he was still the son of the devil and was able to turn into Ozzy Osbourne and bite the head off a bat.
Okay,
so
well, yeah, he's got
that's not full retard.
And that dude has been trying to, man. I mean, he's been trying to do some serious stuff, and I really think I like him as an actor. So I feel really bad that people won't accept this.
Well, the thing is it's done decently well. I'm pretty sure it wasn't like $100 million movie. Mm-hmm. It's done decently well. It'll do well on DVD, and it'll be one of those films that people pass around.
Yeah, it was $75 million, so DVD it'll do all right.
Yeah.
So you want to go to number 4?
Number 4.
For a movie that people said they weren't sure how it was doing at the box office, it's done considerably well, and that is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Say Harry Potter for me.
Harry Potter.
There you go.
See, that's how it's pronounced. We don't say it right over here.
No, you see that voice will help get ladies here in
yeah, because it's been working for the last 3 nights.
Well, over here in the States, man, that's that voice is gold.
But over here in the States, but in Austin, we'll talk about this a little. Austin is rough, man. But say the full title.
Well, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
It came in this week at number 4 and has $8.9 million. It has so far brought in $273.8 million. So that's a lot of fucking money,
that's
man.
A lot of fucking money.
It's done. It's one of the more successful movies this summer. So, yeah.
Now, the next title we need you to say, because, as we need a British person to say, Harry Potter, we need a black man to say...
Harry Potter.
No, the next film.
Oh, the next film. Okay. What, the film that's number...
Yeah, number 3.
Okay, you guys set it up for me, man. I just can't rush in there,
I'm all about it.
You my more than man in the background. You sitting over...
Number 3.
There you go. Now I can bust into the room. G-Force!
G-Force, motherfucker!
G-Force. Take that R out of G-Force.
Or as Scott Weinberg over at Cinematic refers to it, G-Force.
All right, I like that better.
What a piece of shit this thing is.
Piece of shit that's
still around making money.
It's brought in $86.1 million so far. This weekend it brought in 9.8, and they don't have the budget for this movie, but it's doing all right. Much better than I thought.
How much could it cost a specially trained gerbils to talk and blow shit up?
And fart.
And light their farts.
Man, you know something, though? That movie looked like it did cost a lot of money. I mean, because the whole thing is CG. I mean, it's pretty much all these guinea pigs talking and dancing, boom, 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 all that kind of shit. So, and they actually have Transformers.
The sad thing is, I know what song you were just doing.
Hey, that song.
Like someone was out at the club last night.
That song has become like the theme for shitty movies this summer. I mean, G.I. Joe was fun. But it's not. It's a dumb movie. And what they play at the end of the credits? Boom, 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 boom. was not expecting a guinea pig to come out dancing with like one of the accelerator suits and shit. But yeah, it's not. Man, the movie has a lot of money in it, so I don't know what the budget is on that. They're not saying. So I don't know if this movie's like underperforming or overperforming. Somebody can tell us if they want. Now we get into some 2 new entries though.
Number 2.
Number 2 is Julie and Julia, which brought in $20 million.
$20.1 million.
$20.1 million.
I haven't even heard about these films. Like, what's this one about?
Well, that's because you're from a country that doesn't actually get good film until much later.
Oh, okay.
You'll know about it next year.
Amazing film then. This
is a major film. You will hear about this at Oscar time because it is Meryl Streep as Julia Childs. You know who Julia Childs is?
No. Who's that?
She was a woman that talks with a fake British accent. Oh, hello, Nick. I'm going to make you a pot roast today.
Okay, well, I'm definitely not looking forward to it now.
And that's the accent I'm planning on using tonight to pick up chicks. So.
Yeah, you were trying last night.
Last night I was just fucking with people. You know, I was like, run down the street.
Oh, here's a lesson about Corey. When he does something and it fails, he was just fucking around, or it was an experiment.
Oh yes, no.
When it works, that's the only time he was trying to do something.
Yeah, no. If I actually
doesn't matter how hard he works a girl, he was just experimenting until she gives it up.
Yeah, now if I come home, you know, and actually with a girl and that accent had worked, I would have been dressed up like I had my British t-shirt, had on a British mustache and shit the next morning, you know, with a pipe and good morning, Nick. I have a young bird in my room right now.
You're trying to act like Black Eason from Rock and Roller, you know, the bloke.
Oh, you know what? That dude, everybody doesn't know that guy's black.
What are you talking about? He's dark.
I mean, I'm sorry, not black. Everybody knows that he's a black brick guy.
Oh, what? No, from Rock and Roller?
From Rock and Roller, yeah, because he was in because when he comes over to America, he does movies like Obsessed. I forgot the guy's name. Ilya, something like that.
I completely forgot.
People, there's this guy, you've seen, he was in Obsessed with Beyonce Knowles. And all the black people think that he's actually American here.
And he was in 28 Weeks Later. He played the American general.
He plays the American general, yeah. And he's also in a show here called The Wire. And it's funny because people went up to him, like these gangsters went up to him when he was doing The Wire. They're like, yo, man, thanks for representing The Wire. You know, that's real cool and shit. And the guy's like, man, I'm not from here. I'm from Britain.
I'm just doing a job here, mate.
Yeah,
I am from West Street in East End, London.
Yeah. So,
it's the dodgy end, though.
No, he's from Hackney, yeah. So he is from the streets, except just other side of the block.
Actually, that's what he said. He's like, I am from a lower part of town, but just not in America.
See, what I love about Britain is that all the dangerous people are white over there.
Yeah, and most of the
it's like all the kids with the hoods.
Oh, the chavs and all that, yeah.
I'm scared over in London. I mean, over here, we still think of them like Mary Poppins and shit, but over there, no, it's like those street kids over there are rough, man.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, you said like you went through some shit, Nick. Did you get raped by one of these kids or something? Like,
yeah, I met the same mugger Hex had when we were in London.
That's right,
mate. Could you please hand us your phone?
Julie and Julia is for people who a lot of people know about it now. It's number 2, but it's the movie about Julia Childs and also this woman Julie Powell and her memoirs about having a year-long project of recipes that she cooked from Julia Child's French cooking book. That was in English. So yeah, movie did well. It's a Nora Ephron movie. She hadn't had a movie in a while, has she?
No.
Since Bewitched, maybe?
Yeah, that was the last one she made.
All right, so glad to see that movie's doing well because I hated Bewitched, but I really like this movie. And number 1,
the number 1 film of the week is
G.I. Joe.
And now I know.
There you go. Joe. Cobra rose this weekend.
G.I. Joe, baby.
Brought in $56.3 million, man.
Thank God, man. It did well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about that though, because the movie's fun.
I love the movie. I had a lot of fun with it.
Did you? We all see. What would you give it?
I would give it a matinee.
Okay.
And it is an incredibly dumb film. It is not smart, but it's something you've got to see on the big screen. It's pretty. It's fun. It's gloriously dumb. But you know what? I was having fun even with what was terrible about it. Because there are moments that are so bad that they're hilarious. Some of the dialogue had me doubled over laughing. And the Sonny rolling around in the field flashback moments in the middle of the fight. And that stuff had me howling. But I loved it. I walked out going, okay, that was a fun experience.
So I don't think we loved it. We feel like you though. It was fun, but we all gave it rental. But
I don't think this movie should ever be rented. I think watching this on the small screen is one of the dumbest things you could do because there's no reason for this to exist on the small screen. It's a big screen summer extravaganza that has no merit on the small screen. The story's dumb. The action is retarded. It needs to be seen big because there's so much weird little stuff going on in the background. There's a scene where they're driving around a corner. And as they corner, you see a mime out of the corner of your eye. It's in France. You see a mime. If you focus on that mime as the car drives past, the mime attacks and mugs a guy on a scooter and tries to steal his scooter.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then they turn and it's like, did I just see what I think I saw? But everyone else was staring at the car and totally missed that there's all these little weird gags going on in the background.
I think that was
kind of cool.
I think that was a real mugging.
It's possible.
I think they got that on film and they didn't ever catch it. And now that mime is going to jail because he's in G.I. Joe on the full screen. That's the guy that fucking mugged me, man. But no, I thought some of the special effects were terrible, but
it was worse than Wolverine, I thought.
Oh God, no! Oh fuck, no! Because at least, because Wolverine took really good material and then remade Universal Soldier with it. I mean, it's a terrible remake of a bad old film with logic that doesn't work at all, not only in the forms of story, but in the comic book universe. There's just gargantuan holes there. None of the characters are interesting. It's just a terrible film. And G.I. Joe it did what it was trying to do. It was trying to duplicate the experience of playing G.I. Joe in your backyard when you were 8 years old. And that's exactly what it was.
But I was on about the special effects that in Wolverine were just, awful. And I felt that a lot of the scenes in G.I. Joe, like however fun it was, like the computer special effects were just terrible.
Yeah, there was so many scenes like that. I was like, man, on a small screen, maybe you won't notice, but on a big screen, I'm like, holy shit, that's terrible.
There were a ton of really good effects at the same time. I mean, that's the thing, is that not all the
accelerator
suits
were cool. That scene is actually badass.
There's a lot of sequences that I noticed. Like, I was like, how the fuck did they do? Oh, that's CG. That the CG was so good that it looked realistic to when it was supposed to. Not all the effects were great. But then again, it's not a movie that I really was expecting or wanted great special effects from, because for all intents and purposes, it's a hyper-violent kids movie. I mean, it's a PG-13 movie made for 8-year-olds. I mean, it's a very odd kind of thing, but it's made for 8-year-olds and their dads. It's not supposed to be a convincing, involving story. It's playtime with a $200 million budget.
No, it's dumb. I'm just saying, for a budget that big, I was amazed that they were able to make some of those ships and some of those underwater effects look as shitty as they did. But then
I don't think anything looked shitty. There was nothing.
Like I said, there was a school of fish that went by. I was like, man, there's some shit on Nickelodeon right here.
Well, yeah, but that school of fish was supposed to look fake because we were looking into one of the fish that had all this cybernetic stuff in it.
Well, then the G.I. Joe people should have said, man, those fish, those fish are fake. Those fish have cybernetic shit in them. It's a trap.
They were Cobra. They were too concentrated on being Cobra.
No, it's a fun movie. It really is. Don't get me wrong. I'm not nitpicking with you or anything. I think, of course, you liked it better than we did, but it's still a fun movie.
I don't think it's a great movie by any stretch of the imagination. Just everybody who's been asking me, they're like, should I see it? I tell them, if you have any plans on seeing it, you have to see it in a theater. There's no other way to watch, because watching it on video, you're just going to sit there and go, this is fucking retarded. Because it is fucking retarded. It's gotta, you have to feel those explosions.
See, I saw it retarded telling somebody to go see it at the theater.
I saw it at the Alamo Drafthouse at a midnight screening, totally packed. There were exactly 15 girls in a theater that sat 125 people. Tim League got up and he was dressed as Cobra Commander and already drinking, and they had a costume contest, and we were all hooting and hollering and having a good time during the film, and that's exactly what I wanted.
Now, see, that's worth the price of admission, but how many times is that going to happen? Like looking at a drunk Cobra Commander, a guy walking out to his car with that suit on and shit.
Oh, I got to say one thing I forgot. Do you remember that black geezer was supposed to be British in that film? He had a worse British accent.
But he really is British.
He's not British. I don't think.
No, he's not. He's from a colony somewhere, and I forget where he's from. But
if it's who I think it is, he was on. Now was he?
He's in Lost. I think
he's Mr. Echo.
Mr. Echo, and he was on. He was also in Oz,
and he was in Legionnaire with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, all that shit. Yeah. Oh, he was in. My favorite role for him is in that fucking 50 Cent movie.
Oh God, yeah. Get Rich or Die Trying.
Live Rich or Die. What is Get Rich or Die Trying?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think Okay, I mean, I might be wrong. I thought the guy was British because when he actually did some interviews, he did it in a British accent. So
I know. Wait, is he like a middle class Englishman, or is because he was trying to speak with a Cockney accent in the thing, and I just wasn't buying it.
I don't know. Look, you know what? We'll look it up right now
Okay,
because I don't want to mislead anybody or anything like that.
Oh, another thing that they kind of, I was so looking forward to that line, knowing is half the battle. Do you remember that?
They did say that.
They did it
early.
3 times.
I know they did because you elbowed me really, really hard in the cinema. I was like, when Quaid goes, and knowing is half the battle. He's like, look. He said it.
You got to know.
They said that line like 3 times.
Yeah, they did.
You know what? I was really disappointed. There was somebody in Paramount who was lobbying very hard with the higher ups to get them to do a PSA after the credits with the cast.
Why didn't they do that?
Because they didn't get that. I know. See, that's exactly how I felt too. I wanted 2 kids to be flailing around in a pool or something, and have Marlon Wayans come up and go, "Hey, kids, you're not supposed to do that." You know
what they should have had? They should have had a bunch of black kids hitting on a little white girl, and then they fail, and Marlon Wayans comes out and is like, "Hey, kids, now this is how you hit on a white woman, right?" And no one's half the battle because they actually did that. It's one of the few movies that's a big budget where I actually saw like a black guy actually get with a white woman, and it was Marlon Wayans.
In fact, that was the thing. Is I was walking out, I was like, you know what? Corey's gonna mention it, but he's gonna like it because they actually let the black guy get the white girl.
Yes, that was
because you always freak you whenever it's a white guy with a black girl, but they don't show a black guy with a white girl. You freak the fuck out.
I don't really freak out. I just say, man, why are they so afraid to do that? I mean, it's because it says something about society when they don't do that. But apparently, people getting over that shit. What was the guy's name in the movie? What character was he?
I don't know. Just look at the picture.
Heavy metal or heavy?
Oh man, yeah, heavy something. Heavy duty.
Heavy duty.
Oh, he's the first guy up there. Let's see. Yeah, date of birth. London, England. Right there.
No, where in London? Does it say Islington?
Islington.
Okay, he definitely ain't Cockney then, because Islington's like pretty much the north end of London, which is where I'm from. So people in Islington sound like me.
No, I saw you sitting there, and you being all elitist and said that guy's British accent is shite. Yeah. I was like, man, this guy's from Britain. The guy's from London.
I just didn't buy it, man, because he was speaking all proper Cockney. It was just all over the place. I mean, if watch that film again, you'll see there's something.
Okay, and I will counter. Why were you looking for any kind of authenticity in a movie called G.I. Joe? There was no. I mean, it was a cartoon.
No, it was a cartoon. Look. Somebody, I said this is the dumbest thing I've seen this summer. I said this is dumber than Transformers, and somebody said, "Well, why would you say that if you hated Transformers so much?" I said, "Well, first of all, I gave both these movies a rental, but to me, unlike Transformers, dumb suited this movie. I mean, it really fit the tone of this film. I mean, if you're gonna be dumb,
and be fun dumb.
Yeah,
and that's what this was.
Yeah,
and it was really stupid, but I really enjoyed it, the thrust of what it was doing.
No, I had a really good time with that movie.
I don't know if I want to see a sequel.
I do. I'm not lying. I really do. I want to see a sequel to it. I want to see. I want to see where they can go with this. I want to see what will happen now. Well, come on. I want to see Cobra Commander get his day. I won't ruin the end of the movie, but Cobra Commander has. He's about to. Hey, Nick, he's about to rise, man.
Oh, he's about to rise.
But no, I look. Like I said, I think I'm with you, man. I have fun with the movie. I do want to see a sequel to it. I think, like
I said, I don't know. If they do something cool with it, if they bring in some other cool characters and have more fun, and just make sure it's more stupid, dumb fun.
But maybe in the next movie they'll listen. Yeah, put a PSA at the end of it. That's what people are looking for. I mean, just a PSA alone would have made me say matinee.
Right now, people just have to watch my PSA, the one that I made. And
I saw that. Well, did you make that? Did somebody make that for you? Did you make that?
No, I made that. No Country for G.I. Joe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was mine. Have you ever seen that, Nick?
I didn't see it. I've been on the internet for the past week. So.
Oh, no. I made it like a year ago.
It was probably before you even got on.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's actually pretty funny. It's a character that looks just like him.
I got to say, though, when we were going to see G.I. Joe, that was the main thing. I was like saying, oh, God, I hope they do that little bit at the end. Because that was always my favorite moment in all the G.I. Joe cartoons. Like, I used to just, if I could, just skip it straight to the end. Because it was so funny. Like,
oh, yeah. Which one's your favorite? Your favorite PSA?
I got one.
Okay.
You can find this on YouTube. Because I only think it's funny because it looks kind of dirty. Where there's this little boy, he's in a carnival. and his brother's going off, and he looks behind him. He's like, "Hey, look at that!" And it looks like he's looking at a blonde girl with big tits walking behind him. And then really, you see behind her is like a little rifle range, and then he loses his brother, and he's like, "Help, help!" And then he's like, "Don't worry, kids." What are the
I don't even remember that one.
Mine. Oh, I know which one. I know that one very well. My favorite is actually the one with Deep Six, and that's the creepiest one because it's these two kids and they're swimming in this pond. That was bigger than a swimming pool, and all of a sudden this lightning storm comes up, and one kid's like, "I'm getting out." He's like, "No way, man, I'm staying." And then right up behind him pops this G.I. Joe who's apparently been underwater watching them swim, and is like, "No, kid, don't you know you're supposed to get out of a pool when it's lightning out?" And it's like, "What the fuck were you doing down there, pal? That's kind of fucked up."
Yeah, those kids are like, "Why are your pants unzipped?" The knowing's half the battle. God damn it! Just don't do it. No, that was mine. That was actually the one I remember the most. With kids about to swim, and right when they get into the water, the lightning strikes. It was like, and I expected that guy to be like, "Now, if you really want to swim someplace safe, I got a pool back at my place."
It's so ominous because there's lightning crackling behind him. It's like as he's rising up.
Yeah, it's a creepy scene. It's like thunder's going on. It got a strange sailor hat in the bush. These kids are swimming in what was about to be in the middle of a storm. Yeah, it didn't make any fucking sense, but that's why we loved it. See, that's why the movie didn't need to make any sense, because it's based on a show that didn't make any sense at all.
No. It had the same plot as the Transformers. I mean, it really was one of those things where every week Cobra was up to no good, and G.I. Joe had to stop him, but they couldn't quite stop him. So what they had to do was call upon their new buddy who's available in stores this week, and he would help them out. And if he couldn't do the trick, then he would use a new vehicle that was also available in stores this week, and then they would defeat Cobra. And they would have commercials all through for that new toy.
Okay, speaking of new toys, do you remember what the deal was for getting Refrigerator Perry? Like, how did you get that action figure?
You had to collect. I think it was 5. It was one of those 5 proofs of purchases, just like getting the Emperor was, and getting Boba Fett was.
And get Boba Fett. We were trying to figure that out last night. Now, how many did you have to get Boba Fett? Was it like 4 also?
I don't remember what.
Somebody told me that Boba Fett, they never even gave those out. Like, they offered it, but they never gave them out because the projectile on his wrist was dangerous for kids.
Yep.
Yeah, so
and they ultimately ended up releasing him, in various versions. But
so that version never came out. If you have a Refrigerator Perry action figure, then it's probably really worth something right now.
It's possible.
It's probably worth more than the actual Refrigerator Perry. That guy, his career went down right after.
Isn't he dead?
No, he's still alive. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I'm saying that right now. I haven't really kept up with the guy, but I haven't called him lately. But no, it's like I think that his career actually went down the tubes when that action figure came out, and everybody was kind of like, well, what the fuck are we gonna do with these action figures now? Fill them up with a landfill or something. And on the other hand, Sergeant Slaughter's action figure took off, and that guy even became part of the cartoon for a little while. People don't remember Sergeant Slaughter. He was a WWF wrestler, right?
Yep.
And he was so popular that he actually was the guy who trained the G.I. Joes.
Yeah.
Going on missions with him and shit. He was in a G.I. Joe movie.
Yep.
Yeah. God damn. I know all this shit, man. But anyway, what else is going on, man? Oh, before we go, you know what? I actually thought that the cartoon was dumb for G.I. Joe, but I thought Transformers had such a better story in the beginning. Like, G.I. Joe just came out of nowhere. Like,
what, the movie or the show?
The show. Like,
the show for the show of Transformers always had much better storylines.
The 80s show, yeah. Yeah, I always thought that was so much better. I guess that's why I was so disappointed with the movies, because if they just kept that story, that would have been cool. But G.I. Joe was like, man, who cares? This shit was dumb right from the go, like right out the gate. But, okay, so I'm going to fill you in right now on what this party's all about real quick.
Okay.
You know.
You could have sent me an email, but fine, fill me in here.
I haven't typed.
So everybody else has to listen to me give you a hard time for all your stupid ideas.
Oh man, your dumb ass couldn't figure out when we were having this party because you ain't listening. We mention this shit right in front of you all the time. You don't. You just sit up there ain't listening. Motherfucker just sit up there wondering about because
you forget that I'm not here half the time nowadays.
You were here. You were here when we were talking. You were just not paying attention. You were like, I ain't talking about me, so I ain't listening. So
you never did it during a cold one to like talk about the party for the Oscars.
Yeah, we haven't.
I think it was only on Let's Do This then.
No, we haven't talked about it on the cold ones because we did it so late. We only had, we want to get out of there.
I have no idea.
Gotcha.
All right, here it is. All right, so in 2 weeks, August 22nd, that's a Saturday, we're having the party. Now, we've already made it clear that people don't need to attend everything that we're doing, but I'm making this an all-day event just so people who are from out of the country and from out of town will have something to do here in Austin. So at 10 in the morning, we're having a spill brunch, breakfast, whatever, and it's going to be at the Alamo Draft House downtown. That's on 6th Street. And so it's going to be from 10 to 1. Give people time to come in from 10 to 11. We're going to be showing stuff on the screen and whatnot. And at 11 o'clock, we're going to do a live podcast. And we're going to do that from 11 to 1. So from that point on, people can go downtown because they'll already be parked. They can go see 6th Street. They can go see Congress. They can go to see the Capitol, whatever. And I think at 3 o'clock, they're going to do a live LEOG, League of Extremely Ordinary Gentlemen, over at the bookstore, Austin Books. And that was just added yesterday or a couple of days ago. Cyrus called over there and said, hey, can we do a live recording over there? And they said, yeah, we'd be happy to have you. So people can come over there and listen to that if they want to.
They didn't think that through.
Why?
You know how many people are going to go over there? They're going to fill that store up, and that store is going to be wall-to-wall fucking people.
I think they want that. Brad said, hey, bring as many people as you want, so they can do that.
Okay.
And so
100 people coming, though.
But not 100 people are going to come. Not everybody's going to go over there to that bookstore.
Oh, how many people?
You say that, but if it's an event, they might do that, and that store can't have that many people in there. I've been to Austin Books. That's going to be insanity. There's no big open space in Austin Books to do that.
Well, we have 2 weeks to decide on how to do it. Maybe we can they can have some sort of other venue that they can take it to. We'll put up an update on it or something. But hey, they went and asked Brad at the bookstore, and I really don't think I know 100 people are not going to go over there. First of all, I mean maybe 50 people, but even then, I don't know, man. But hey, that's their bookstore. They can do what they want to. But we have time to figure out if we want to do it at another venue. So it's no big deal. And we have 2 weeks to do an update. So at 3 o'clock, we know we're going to do a live recording for LEOG somewhere. Right now,
are you going to be there, or is it just the 4 LEOGs?
I told them I might come by. It depends on what I have to do that day, because I'm going to be just running around. If I had time to stop by there, I'll do it. If I don't, then they got all in control. That's their thing. So that's going to be from 3 to 5, I think, and then at 7 o'clock to midnight. And if it goes over, it goes over. If not, then they'll go somewhere else. But 7 to midnight, we're going to be over at Nomad's Bar, and I'll put directions up for that. But you've been over to Nomad's before, right? Have you?
Oh yeah,
yeah. So we're going to be over at Nomad's, and that's where the big party is going to be. And then the next day, on Sunday, we're going to have a barbecue out in Zilker Park. And this is just for people to kind of who are leaving or want to just hang out with some people a little bit more. We're going to have a barbecue. And it's going to be near Barton Springs if people want to go swimming, because that's a big site here in Austin. So if people want to see that, they can. If they just want to hang out and meet people and whatnot and say their goodbyes and get numbers or whatever, regret who you slept with the night before, whatever you do, then you can do that at the barbecue. And and people, let me just tell you something. Some people,
you'll do that like 3 or 4 times, because you'll have 3 or 4 different people.
Don't look. Hey, baby,
let's
looking forward to that.
We need to start up like pools on who hooks up with who, and who does the walk of shame after getting talked into bed by Kent.
I'm all for it. Yeah, it'd be me and Kent looking at each other next day. Don't tell anybody about this.
I know.
I thought you were Nick.
No, Hex was making huge jokes about the possibility of me and Kent hooking up at the last podcast I did with him.
Oh, Hex. Hex is always talking shit.
He mentions it like 5 times. It's like, God Christ, mate.
We got to hook up with Kent.
You sound like you want to get with Kent, mate.
I do.
He's jealous.
Hey, who, Hex?
Who is Hex?
Hex is one of the British Spill members, but he's like been popular since I joined Spill. I heard about him when...
yeah, you actually made him popular, I think.
No, he was popular before.
Oh, was he? Yeah, he's gonna hate me for that then.
Well, yeah, Hex, I
you
made you
fucker. Tally ho, I was popular before Nick.
No, he's no. You never heard of Hex, huh? Wow, man.
I've seen him in the threads, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, he's what is he? 17 now?
I think so, either 17 or 16.
No, he's just a little guy with a lot of energy. He lives over in Britain. Everybody loves him, hearing him talk. So, he's been on a few podcasts that I've done when we went over to London. So, yeah, everybody likes him. So, he's not going to be here though. So, yeah, I like that idea though. Taking pools on just observing throughout the day. All right, that person's.
Why don't we make a group discussion page about it?
Just expose people. Take pictures as people are walking away.
Would it be different for guys? I guess it'd be like a guy will be a Hall of Fame, and there will be a girl will be a Hall of Shame.
Or we could even do something even more outrageously irresponsible, and we could set up like points, like you score points for sleeping with certain spilios, and that the person who accrues the most points at the end of the weekend can take part in a special podcast with the crew.
And just brag about it. And the girls,
The whole podcast just like bragging.
I know. It's
And get a spill T-shirt, you know.
now we'll send a T-shirt to the girl. Yeah, clean yourself up, bitch.
Exactly.
There should be a spill towel instead.
Yeah. Wipe yourself off, you nasty whore.
You slag.
No, we won't treat people like that. It'd actually be pretty good. We're thinking about maybe doing a raffle. I don't know what we're gonna do. I have, like I said,
We're gonna give away.
Yeah, we're gonna raffle off Kent and you.
Oh, okay.
So
We don't have anything.
we have one of the girls who's making like some plushies for us. Stephanie, she's making some stuff for us. And Renegade has offered to buy dinner for people. It's almost like win a date with Renegade.
Yeah, but then you have to eat dinner with Renegade.
No, I already told him just pay for it and leave. Just get up and get out. What are you sitting down for?
What that means, you have to sit and listen to the story about the stripper.
We gave him so much shit for that.
I'm curious. What is this?
Oh no,
We love you, Renegade.
No, I love the guy, but I told him I wouldn't tell anybody about this. But we just,
But then you told it
but then I
every
told
fucking
everybody,
podcast.
and I don't think he cares. I didn't think he really cared that much. We went to the strip club, and we were supposed to go in and meet everybody, and we never got past the parking lot because he was having a hard time. And granted, I didn't mind listening to him. He really was going through a hard time, but I was just like,
What, with ID getting in? Or something?
no. He just wanted to share some personal things with me. He was having a hard time back then. You know.
How drunk was he?
Probably very. No, I was drunk by the end of it because I just kept drinking. Oh fuck! No, he was cool, man. He was a cool guy. He just wanted to talk. He just said, I really don't feel like going in. I just want to talk right now. And next thing we know, the moment we were ready to go in, Leon and everybody else was walking out, and they're like, "What are you guys doing? You just getting here?" Like, no, we've been here for a fucking hour, sitting in the car.
See, that's what's got me surprised. You're saying that it's gonna that party's gonna last in the Nomad until 12. You guys are gonna leave by like 9:30 and go to a strip club.
No, we'll leave at midnight.
And
That's
there's
what we
gonna
did
be a
last
big
time.
strip club caravan.
No, at midnight, that's what happened last time. I think that's why I said till midnight. Now, if it goes on, because there's a lot more people here this year, it's going to go on. But there's a chance that Leon's going to get people up at midnight, and people is going to go to different clubs, bars, and strip joints.
Maybe I'll host a couple of cold ones over at my place afterwards for people who don't suck. Like if I discover that you don't suck, you might be invited to the cold ones party.
And
Maybe I'll just throw that out there and make people think that there is a cold ones party. And
when's the cold ones party?
when you guys go to the strip club.
Oh, ain't nobody coming to that party. Everybody going to a strip club.
See, you say that.
Like, all right, you go ahead and do that. But no, it should be fun, man. It's like I said, there's probably going to be 100 people. Oh, well, I know there's going to be over 100 people if we invite our friends and whatnot. And people, I'm going to tell you right now, we're getting name tags because after that whole thing in San Diego, where a lot of people came up and we really had to remember everybody's name, and that was just 30 some odd people. 100 people is going to be crazy. So
I don't need one because I'll be the only Brit with a flat cap at the. So I'll be pretty obvious to spot.
I'm going to hire a Brit to show up with a flat cap just to throw people off.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
He won't. He's too fucking cheap. He won't do it.
He'll be wearing clothes with a British flag on it. You know?
Yeah, I'll make him I'm going to have him come in dressed up like a chimney sweep.
He'll hire that guy who played Heavy Duty and have him talk in a Cockney accent and piss you off the whole night.
That guy, he works.
I'm Nick Hodges.
So
Good night.
no, it's gonna be fun, man. So I don't know. You think you coming by on Saturday morning, or do you want to do something later?
We'll see what happens. The fact that it's a fucking podcast at 11 in the morning is a little absurd.
Why don't you come by later then? Why don't you do a second?
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Because that Leog is going to be insanity. I'm telling you, that's since there's nothing else going on, everyone in town is going to try to go for that. And if you guys say, "Oh, it won't be that packed," that's why everyone will go. Okay. And you'll end up with 100 people there, and they won't be able to fit in because of fire code. And, everybody will be sitting there listening, and customers on a Saturday afternoon who would normally come in to buy stuff won't be able to come in, and it's going to be a nightmare.
Well, I will tell.
That terrifies me.
I will talk to Brad about this and see what he wants to do because there could potentially be a lot of people in there. And I know what the store layout is. I'm more worried about his books. I'm more worried about the place crowding up. And people like wrinkling books, maybe stealing books, no telling what. So we might have to.
A lot of pirates on spill, yeah.
Well, actually, the group page you made, the head count, I looked at it this morning and it was like 117 plus. Because people are bringing, their mates with them and stuff like that. So, one person will bring 3 mates with them. So, and it really could possibly be like, ridiculously huge. Especially, and I'm betting quite a lot of them will be heading over to that bookshop. So,
well, okay then.
But it's not my problem.
Really, it ain't mine either. But it potentially is going to be my problem. So I will.
You're not Leog though.
No, but somehow it'll come back on me because I'm heading up the whole thing. So I'm going to go over.
It's always Corey's fault, whether he accepts it or not.
Somebody's going to say something because Brad's going to come back to me and say something. I know.
But they're doing this on their own, though. Like Cyrus and Leon. This is their thing.
Well, apparently somebody needs to call right now and say, because he does make a point. Somebody needs to call and say, "Are you really prepared for this?"
Okay, that's a good point. Like, make a warning or something like that, saying, "Hey, you could be having 100 people coming over."
Because I'll make a call. We can talk about all this later. I'll make a call. But anyway, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait for people to get here. Video is going up tomorrow, and it'll give all the details, and people have a good time.
Oh, you've made a video for the.
I'm going to make a video. Yeah, it's just it's not anything elaborate.
Thanks for making a video for my last party.
You didn't need one. You didn't need one. You're Nick Hodges. You said it all. You made that video. You made that video. You sit in front of your computer.
So we're all the beer is being supplied to those of us Spill members for free, correct? At the Nomad party.
Oh, seriously?
Well, we are having an hour open bar. So
like whatever we want to drink.
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
So
yes,
we're having an hour because I can only afford an hour. So we're having an hour open bar.
That's very generous of you.
Miguel's going to be who's the owner of the bar is going to be cutting me a deal. So
what's happening with the people under the age of 21?
They can be there because they're serving food. But
they serve food there.
But
okay.
yeah, they serve food, and we're going to have bracelets for those people. We already talked about that. We're going to do something, either stamp hands or put bracelets on people.
Can we get a clown for them or something? Maybe balloon animals.
We'll have the kiddie table set up for them. We'll have a game of Candyland over there. You can all sit there and play Uno or some shit.
Like a yellow plastic table that's too short, and they all have to sit on chairs.
And that's how Cyrus will know where his dating pool is.
Hello, ladies. Anybody for a game of Go Fish?
Who wants to come back and see my comic book collection?
I got a Wii at the house.
He's got a Wii with him, too.
Oh, minging, mate.
Kick your ass, it's Candyland, I will.
So let's see.
Hey, don't fuck around. That man's a motherfucker at Candyland.
Oh, I've heard, man.
Shoots and ladders. He's a fucking shark. I've never played this game before. Whap, 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 whap. There I go. I'm down the ladders.
I heard his shoots is kind of iffy, but his ladders is whoop ass, boy. You look out for that mother, man.
Ass.
So, Nick, you got anything? Either one of you guys. We got a few minutes left here.
You know what we have to talk about.
What?
I know you're going to want to talk about it with the co-host, but fuck that. Fucking John Hughes, man.
Oh, that's right.
John Hughes passed away. This is big. He's one of the giants.
Yeah. No, I was surprised to hear that. Died of a heart attack in New York. I hope they don't find cocaine in the system like Billy Mays.
No, he was out walking. Apparently, I've heard he wasn't like the world's best eater. Like he ate lots of fatty garbage. Oh, yeah, he was 59 years old.
59. I mean, the 50 age.
The 50s. That's the age of death these days for celebrities. Better watch out. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, but anyhow, I mean,
well, you can look at his head, man, in recent pictures and tell he didn't eat too well. I mean, this dude probably was a little bit overweight, but still 59, man. I mean, it's funny because today, I mean, with people living now to possibly 90, everybody's saying even at 59, he died early. He died kind of young. So, but yeah, look, if you were a child of the 80s, I mean, he was a big inspiration on everybody.
Even if you're not, his films have held up.
Yeah, Forrest. What was his name? Forrest Gump. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off is one of his classics.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. Cool. That's my favorite.
That's my favorite. Although his best is Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Breakfast Club is much more powerful than Ferris Bueller's Day Off. But in fact, I watched. I had a John Hughes marathon last night and sat down and watched a bunch of his old films and watched Breakfast Club back to back with Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and they are such a great companion, a great pair. a double feature to watch because they really do they build upon one another. Because the theme of Breakfast Club is you're fucked up because of your parents. Your parents make you who you are, and you don't, we're all the same. We're all the product of our parents, and we're all fucked up. And Ferris Bueller's Day Off is, your parents are what fucked you up, but you're responsible for it now, and it's up to you to change it. And you could see just the evolution of this theme to these two pieces as really brilliant. I mean, he wrote some really great stuff that really communicates with the youth. And he just captured the voice of adolescence and nailed it. And he made a lot of classics. I mean, we talk about his teen films, but the guy also wrote and directed Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah, no, he did Planes, Trains. She's Having a Baby, Uncle Buck. I mean,
that was the last three movies. She's Having a Baby, Uncle Buck, and
the last one was Curly Sue.
Curly Sue. Those three were all kind of like,
And it's sad too because he made some very memorable films that spoke to a generation of kids. He wrote, but later on in life, he wrote a lot of shit.
Oh yeah, he wrote the Home Alones and the Beethoven
Home Alone
movies.
3. He wrote Beethoven's Fifth. I didn't even know there was a Beethoven.
No. He wrote Beethoven. He wrote Home Alone.
He did stuff like
he was responsible for this whole series.
Dennis the Menace, all that. Yeah, he wrote a lot. He wrote some good shit. And he wrote some bullshit too. I just wonder why he didn't direct later on.
He was done with it. He was tired of it.
He wanted shitty scripts.
He was, and in fact, the thing is that, you say shitty, but he wrote stuff for kids instead of for teenagers because he'd pretty much exhausted that. He'd said it all. After that, what is he going to do but repeat himself? And he tried moving on to more, adult comedy, and it worked, but he didn't really have anything to say. And then he moved on and did, kid fun movies with, which they were all mayhem movies in the 90s. It was, he wrote shit like Baby's Day Out, and which was Home Alone with a Baby. And then he, wrote.
Is that the one with the talking kids?
No.
Not Look Who's Talking.
That's Super Babies. and what was the other? There was Super Babies and Super Babies 2.
Was it
Baby Geniuses and then Baby Geniuses 2?
Yeah, that's
Super
it. Baby
Babies.
Geniuses, which I saw, and for looking at, did I see it on a plane or did I see it on video at someone's house? But that movie cracked me up, man, because it was so bad. The movie.
Who directed that?
Who?
That was Bob Clark. That's the guy who did Black Christmas and Porky's. Yeah, no, that was his downfall, like the 90s and this decade. Oh my God, he made so many bad films in this decade before he died in a car crash. His last film was like Ninja Dog or something, Karate Dog. It was something like really ludicrous. He was making all this direct-to-video bullshit.
Air Bud, Ninja. Man, this shit here with John Hughes, though, I guess my disappointment with him is that I think he was a great director at one time, and you have a lot of people who actually grow. They leave one phase and then they do something else. And I thought with something like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles that he would actually start moving towards like the next phase of his life, and we didn't get that.
Well, but that's one of the problems with the way we are and the way we look at artists. He had a body of work that was really great, and then as he had a family, he decided he wanted to focus more on raising his family. In fact, the reason he left the industry was because he realized his kids were growing up and turning into assholes because they were growing up in LA and they were growing up in that whole douchebag system out there. And he's like, fuck this, I'm leaving. I'm going back to Michigan. I'm taking my kids and they're going to have a real life in public school without all this money around.
That's good for him, man.
And so he went off to do that and just really enjoyed it. And so he stayed there and he had made his money in the 80s and the 90s. What the fuck does he have to do? He left behind a body of work that we respect. He's got half a dozen movies that we look at that are classics that define an era and have aged well. I mean, you sit down, I sat down to watch 16 Candles.
Nick hears thunder outside. He got scared.
I was like, oh,
he was like,
shit.
huh?
I was hoping English weather didn't follow me.
I think it's here. Nick. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, but I was watching 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, and a Ferris Bueller's Day Off last night. They all hold up so well. They're so funny. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles holds up. She's Pretty in Pink holds up. Some Kind of Wonderful holds up. And he has this whole body of work from 82 to 87 that's just just incredible. Weird Science.
No, I was about to say Weird Science is one that everybody. It's gained popularity through the years.
Yeah, he's got so many great films. He did so much, and he said so much that what more was there really to do? Yeah, he could have evolved, but he didn't want to. He wanted to go and live his life, which is what he did, and he spent the last 20 years of his life living with his family.
Good for him. I mean, as a guy who's raising a family, as a family man, a father, I admire that. I admire anybody that does that. There's a lot of people who have managed to stay in the system who don't live in Hollywood all that much. Like, what's his name from No Country for Old Men? He's in
Tommy Lee Jones.
No, he's in Jonah Hex now. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin. He's somebody who says, "Look, I'm just raising my kids out on a ranch. I don't want them to deal with all this shit."
Well, yeah, because he grew up in it, and because his dad is James Brolin.
James Brolin, the Amityville Horror, and he's
and who married one of the biggest stars in the world at the time, but Barbara Streisand.
I think even his father took him out somewhere and said, I don't want you to grow up around all this bullshit. And so he's doing his kids like that. So I respect that with any kind of celebrity that knows their priorities. I'm just saying, as you say, as an artist, as a director, I mean, you can't help but want to know what would this guy had done if he had gone on this path here.
Sure.
And that's all I'm saying. I think I would have loved to have known what kind of work he would have done had he evolved into something more mature.
But
good for him.
No, I feel that same way, but by the same token, I have to temper that with, 40, 50 years from now, they're still going to be talking about this era of movies and his films.
Yeah, he left his mark.
And how he connected with teenagers in a way no one had, and no one has since. Nobody's made films that connect like that with teens. Some people have gotten close. I think the guy who's getting closest to his work is Greg Motella, who is the guy who did Superbad and then Adventureland. And those films really feel like John Hughes movies. They have something to say, and they're fun and funny and speak of the times, because those movies really are very much where we are as a people right now.
Even kids today who watch Ferris Bueller, they want to be Ferris Bueller. Everybody wants to be Ferris Bueller. Yeah.
Oh, in fact, I was the person I was watching the movie with last night was like, "Are you going to recite the whole movie?"
You shut the fuck up.
Because it's you just know it's the sportos, the geeks, the motorheads, the sluts, the crips, the bloods. They all think he's a righteous. They all adore him. They think he's a righteous dude. You know
what? I saw a movie that was similar to that today, and it's not as good as Ferris Bueller, but it does tap into that John Hughes feeling of filmmaking, and it's surprising. It's Bandslam. It wasn't that bad of a movie, man.
That's what I keep hearing. I want to go see it. Everybody keeps. I keep seeing like 2.5, 3-star reviews of it, and I'm like, wow. And that was the movie if you remember, I was going to take that bullet and I was going to go see it, and then it was like, fuck it, I'm going to go see the Tui movie, which we haven't talked about because it bombed this weekend.
Oh yeah,
it was number 7, $5.7 million.
Yeah, no, it did not do that well this weekend, and it's one of those movies where I don't know, man. It's an August film. It wasn't a movie that was heavily hyped until the last minute. You knew that movie wasn't going to open up too big.
No.
Yeah. I'm surprised Julie and Julia opened up as big as it did. But John Hughes, man. Yeah, look, again, not talking shit about the guy. He made a body of work, whether he moved on or not. He left his mark and made all these almost every movie directed is a classic film. Only about 2 or 3 of them were like just throwaways.
The last few are the ones where it's kind of like his early stuff is all gold.
Yeah.
And even the stuff he produced that he didn't direct, which is he wrote and produced rather than directing, like Pretty in Pink and Some Kind of Wonderful.
Yeah.
Really resonate. He was just responsible for so much great stuff during that era. And I don't know if we're ever going to see another like him. So
somebody will come up, because all it is, it takes, as you mentioned, it takes somebody to just be able to tap into that market and speak to kids, whether it be little kids or teenagers. But,
right, but
speak to them, not down to them.
But is somebody going to want to do that, or are they going to feel that ground's already been covered perfectly?
Every generation is going to have that, because teenagers change. I mean, right now, back then, 80s, the teenagers in the 80s were different from kind of how they are today. The kids stay the same, but the fashion is different, the lingo's different.
Well, they're all fucking now.
Shit, they were fucking back then. I mean,
yeah, but we live in a very weird world. It's one of those things that I can't fathom the youth of today in certain aspects. It's
getting older, my man. That's why.
No, not the getting older thing. The notion that really the thing that really messes with me is the fact that the internet has provided the youth of today with every aspect of knowledge they could ever want. When we were kids, we had to find it out by experience or maybe a dirty magazine. Now, I was with a girl when I was younger who she didn't know what a blowjob was. And she had no idea, and she wouldn't give me one because she was too embarrassed to actually acknowledge to me, I don't know what a blowjob is. After the first time I had asked her if in this day and age she could have gone home, typed it in, and said, and on seen videos of how to perform it, and then the next thing you know, it's like, wow, where did you learn this? It's
and she said, oh no,
I learned on the internet.
I thought you said she
I know you crocodile.
Yeah, keep talking like that. That's good. No, it'd be fun. I thought you were going to say she didn't know what a blowjob was. She went down to your crotch and went like,
No, but it was just one of those things where the girl was too mortified to admit that, no, I don't know what it is. Not understanding that I knew she was a virgin and I knew she had no idea.
See,
but
you worry. I'm jealous. I wish I was a teenager growing up with webcams. I would have had all kind of girls undressing on the internet.
You do that now.
Yeah, but
I've walked in on it.
Yeah, thanks for ruining the mood, man. At the time, I was right about there,
dude. And
she almost had a top off, and you were like, "Hey, fuck!"
I unzipped, whipped it out, and said, "Dude, it's a party."
And that's why I would like the webcam just went off. I'll call you later, baby. Fuck, Carla, did it again. Oh well, while you're here, I want to make this a party one way or another. You owe me. So. Moving on here. You got anything else though? Nick, what about you, man? You got anything to put in on John Hughes?
No, on John Hughes.
But what you got anything to say?
Well, I guess the other guys are not going to forgive me unless I mention this. Can I plug a show that the podcast I've been doing? Okay.
Go ahead, yes. Go ahead.
No plucking.
Okay, all right.
All right, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Okay, a few Americans and a few Brits have been doing a interactive podcast for the Spill community called Foreign Exchange, where the idea is that once a week, actual Spill members can participate. And
you're doing this once a week?
Yeah, once a week. Yeah, like they've just I've done a couple of shows since I'm in America. They've replaced me with a few other guys. I think they said they were going to get James. Remember from the Spill party in London,
aka the mask with the button eyes.
The mask with the button eyes. Yeah, yeah. I think perhaps he may have taken my place. I'm still waiting for that podcast to be put up.
Basically, what it is that you guys are doing a podcast, and it's Spill members from America and Spill members from across the globe. So it's an international podcast.
Yeah.
And you guys have actually done a couple of shows, and they've taken off pretty well.
Yeah, we just did it a couple of weeks ago. We've already got 80 members and growing, which is quite cool. We just needed some, just to put the word out there.
Okay, so it's called Spill Foreign Exchange.
No, it's called the Foreign Exchange.
Foreign Exchange.
Yeah, Foreign Exchange.
And it's cool. This is what I really want to see you guys do. I'm happy to see you guys actually going off and creating your own things on Spill, and I think you should take this outside of Spill and put it on advertise it someplace else. That's what I was saying to Babalu Jack.
Yeah, last week we did a good show with Metal Virgin and Mexicano, which I had a great time doing that. So I'm really excited to see what they've done since I've been away.
Oh, so. Cool, man. So it's Foreign Exchange. Go check out the group, and you invite people from for different podcasts.
No, it's just anyone. We have a little discussion forum. It's anyone who wants to join. You have to get Skype, which is free to download, and then you need to get yourself a headset with a microphone or whatever, and then call one of us, and then we'll pick you for that certain week, and then we'll discuss whatever's on your mind and just really just talk a lot of bollocks and cod shit.
Okay. You think you say this is cool, Corey, but they haven't called us. They haven't asked us to be on. What the fuck's that about?
Give it time. They will.
What the fuck's that?
They've already asked me if I wanted to come on one, so they'll call you. Every one of us is gonna get a call. But see, they know what they know what you'll say. I ain't got time to do that shit. Don't fucking call me.
Fuck you guys.
They're gonna fucking call me. Well, good, man. I'm glad you guys are doing something and having it take on a life of its own. That's really cool.
Thank you very much.
You guys, but just really advertise it in other places, right? Don't limit yourself just to the site. Take it other places too.
We just want to see if it does well.
Still say Spill on there, but take it other places.
The full title done by Peanut Vendors, Foreign Exchange, the Spill Community Podcast. I just called it Foreign Exchange because I thought, if it's an international thing, you got a bunch of limeys and a bunch of Yanks doing it, then kind of make sense to do that.
No, that's cool. That's good. That's good. And this is an international community, so this is the perfect thing for you to bring that even closer together. So let's go ahead and move to some email.
Oh, before we do that,
I'm sorry. What's up?
I had a podcast this week. For those of you that haven't checked it out yet,
Slash Film
on the Slash Filmcast. That went really well. That was a lot of fun. So if you want to hear more Carlisle, there's a podcast out there at slashfilm.com or you can Google Slash Filmcast and you'll find it. And this week's cast and this week's After Dark, I am the featured guest.
Cool.
It was a lot of fun.
What is a Slash Film? Can I ask?
Slash Film is a
microphone.
Slash Film is a blog. It's a movie news blog. And it's one of the better ones. And they do a podcast every week on Monday nights where three of the writers from Slash Film get together with, they have a featured guest every week who's another notable film critic in the industry, usually online guys, or on rare occasions they have directors. They've had Kevin Smith, they had Duncan Jones, wow. They had last week they had, I forget his name, Mark something, the guy who did 500 Days of Summer. So they pepper in these guys who make cool indie films with other film critics. And so last week I was the guest, and we talked about funny people and a bunch of the news.
I thought it was going to be about slasher films from the past, you know, which would be quite cool. I wouldn't.
Carlisle's there with Jason Voorhees that week, so
that would be kick-ass.
They get a critic.
Actually, there's a story about me for Jason Voorhees at a strip club, but that's for another time.
Damn it. Looking forward to that story.
All right, so we have an email here because we're coming up on hour mark pretty soon. We might be even over a little bit.
We're over an hour, but let's do an email.
Let's see.
As long as it's not from an asshole.
All right, Kara, I'm sorry. We got to skip you then. No, Kara gives an email. We never read an email from Kara. Kara is very active on the site, at least coming in and listening to our podcast. But she says...
Oh, this is the one you're always flirting with. Kara, go to bed. No, you 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 hang up first. No, you hang up first. It's so cute.
I must correct you. She flirts with me. Tells me to go to bed first.
Unless you get in there before
and then I say go to bed, and then I say, hey, come to bed with me. So, technically...
No, you go to bed. No, you go to bed. It's so cute.
I love Kara.
Yes, you do.
This is awesome, where we had this thing we have with together. You can never come between it. She says, God. With John Wayne having his swan song movie with the Shootist and Clint Eastwood having his apparent swan song with Gran Torino.
Gran Torino.
Do you like having famous actors or actresses having their swan songs to celebrate their careers? Second, who else would you like to see have a swan song movie? I hate when they say swan songs because every time somebody says, this is my last movie, somehow they manage to come back. And I don't buy it for a minute when people say that, unless they're just really, really old, and I think they're going to die that next week. Why? Did you have something to say?
I love this question. I've got my dream answer. I want to have. I want to have.
About to cry.
I want to have an Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone movie, but like really make it like Commando.
Well, you had that.
No. We like what with the Expendables. Yeah. He's co-starring. I mean, I want to be like lead role. I want to have 300 corpses by the end. I want to be like hard boiled, but like really 80s cheesy kind of stuff. Like that would be my favorite film of all time.
That's actually kind of cool. I'll take that. What about you?
Well, I do want to see one last good Schwarzenegger film, but I want to see a good one. I want to see him do one last really great, smart sci-fi or fantasy film, something that was, when he came up doing stuff like Conan the Barbarian and the Terminator and that kind of stuff, and then kind of got into the garbage. And then, did some cool stuff like True Lies in the 90s. I want to see him do one more. If he does one more, I'd love to see him do a True Lies 2, which Cameron keeps saying isn't going to happen, but I'd like to see it. He's definitely one I'd like to see. Man, I there's so many guys, but I'm trying to think of who I'd really, because I kind of don't want to say, like, he's the one guy that we know only has one more good movie in him, if at all, because, he's the governor now.
Yeah.
He wants to go into that. and continue.
Finished it? Like,
What?
He's got like a few months to go.
He's very
done the
unpopular, so who knows what's
Well, no
going to
shit,
go.
he's very unpopular.
Yeah.
Is he like once he'll be finished with this?
But
pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that he's just when you're done being governor doesn't mean that that's the end of your political career.
Yeah.
He could run as a senator. He could run as a congressman. He's been pushing for a long time that to get the rules changed for presidency so that he could run for president, which he'd like to do.
That would be insane. There's no fucking way I would want that.
Oh
as
yeah,
the
because
president.
we don't vote based upon personalities.
That's one personality that just would be too crazy for me. You're right. I mean, that's a guy I just don't want to see. I think people, because that is one that we obviously would be voting for because he's
We've
in
had
action
3
films.
bad presidents in a row with personalities, so it's that. At this point, it's like sure, why
But this
not?
one we see it coming. I mean, this one it's projected like miles away. Arnold Schwarzenegger's fucking coming.
They've all
Don't vote for
projected
this
it miles
motherfucker,
away.
man.
Could you imagine his promotion commercials? Like it'll be like bum 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 bum. You see like the White House flag.
the presidentator.
That's what I'm afraid of. That kind of shit right there. It's like this guy I do not want. But anyway, so I can't think of anybody right now that I want a swan song
on, man.
from. I mean, besides Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, if I want a swan song for a series with a couple of guys who are older, I want to see one last Lethal Weapon to that's sort of a makeup for that Lethal Weapon 4. What's that?
I disagree on the Lethal Weapon aspect, but I really, really wish the new Mad Max movie starred Mel Gibson. I want to see one last really great Mel Gibson.
So it's not going to be Mel Gibson?
No, they're going to do the young Mad Max.
Oh, fuck that, man.
I want to see fucking old Mad Max fucking kicking ass in the wasteland.
See, I hated Lethal Weapon 4 so much. I want to see these guys do one.
But I don't
more
like
older.
Lethal Weapon 3 either. That was just so cheesy.
No, Lethal Weapon 3 is terrible too, but after 1 and 2, I would like to see them just cap off that series with something that says, you know what, okay, we're going to do it right.
You know what? And if they do, they have to bring back Shane Black to write it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing, is you have to bring Shane Black in to write Lethal Weapon 5, and don't call it Lethal Weapon 5. It's got to have some cool kind of Lethal Weapon-esque title, but make sure that it's delineated from, and it's like, okay, Joe Pesci isn't here, and this is the story of these two guys, and this is their last thing, but I don't know if, I mean, I really think they are too old for this shit.
In Hollywood, they'll probably just call it the Lethal Weapon.
The Lethal
Like, Fast and Furious.
Lethal Weapons. They put an S at the
Hey,
end.
did you see Fast and Furious?
I love Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious is awesome.
But see, everybody kept saying, why does Stallone want to go out and do Rambo again? I don't want to see an old Stallone go out there and do
And
that.
it was so great.
And it was great. He did it with 2 movies. He did it with
Rocky Balboa.
and then he did it with this. So I'm not going to count these old guys out as going back and doing another action film. It's just I don't really buy it when they say this is my last thing. It's just like when people say I'm giving up acting. It's like bullshit.
But they can't do it with Rocky anymore. I mean, I believe it. That's
They
the
can't do
line.
right. They can't do another Rocky.
I want one last really great Robert Forster film. That's what I want.
Robert Forster. Oh, Robert Forster from Jackie Brown and The Black Hole and
Alligator and Diamond Men, and I want one last really badass Robert Forster film.
You got one. What was the last movie he was in?
Ghosts of Girlfriends Past.
Oh, he was in that.
Yeah, he was the major.
No, I was gonna say Dragon Wars. There was a great Robert Forster movie.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Because Cole says Dragon Wars. That fool was so. I was an
Fucking
embarrassment.
hate that movie
That was
so
an embarrassment
much.
for him. Boy,
Holy shit!
I wish
do
Cole
hate
was
that
here so
movie.
you and him can get into it. He jumped on my ass for saying how shitty that movie was.
Well, there we go. That was our email.
Well, now we got another one coming up here.
well,
We got We got a couple of more. We got to wait for co-host to activate anyway, so we can do our District 9 thing.
Fucking boot that motherfucker up.
It says, who is this from? Let me get close to this. Jarla Brelk. I don't know what the fuck. Hey.
Jailbreak?
No, this doesn't say jailbreak. From across the room, it looks like jailbreak. But
You'd recognize jailbait, but
But jailbreak, that's what I'm doing after jailbait. Let's see. It says,
he's
given
looking
that
for
Lindsay
some
Lohan skipped over
jailbait.
starring in The Hangover, the role that Heather Graham eventually filled, is it difficult as a critic to have your prejudice about an actor's ability at the door and just enjoy a movie? Thanks, and I hope you guys have had a great time at Comic Con. Yeah, you know what? Oh, there's a PS here. Oh, this guy got a shirt. Thanks for the shirts, and one of them will make an appearance in my film. Oh, wow. Okay, so we're going to see Spill walking around across a porn flick. There's a...
it's the Spill shirt.
Oh, what's that?
It's the Target.
Oh, yeah. Except instead of black, it's all... Never mind. Okay, so You know what? I try not to like have any prejudice against a certain actor because I've seen too many people turn a good performance right when you thought they were going to do something bad. For example, Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves surprised us right when we thought he was down, and then he goes off to do another movie we thought was bad. But no, if Lindsay Lohan was in the movie and she did a good job, I wouldn't sit up here and hate the movie because she's just in it. I don't think you feel like that either. I don't think anybody feels like that.
Well, no, I think it's the answer to that is it's not hard for a critic. As a critic, you have to be open-minded at all times. You have to walk into a film ready to enjoy it and ready to embrace what an actor gives, even if that actor disappoints you every time. Otherwise, you shouldn't go to the film. Keanu Reeves is a perfect example of someone people always bitch about. I remember I was twisting arms back in summer of '99 saying, dude, you got to go see this new film, The Matrix. It's so awesome. And people were like, fuck you, it's got Keanu Reeves in it. I don't watch Keanu Reeves movies. He fucking sucks. You don't understand. He's perfect here. No, fuck that. I'm not watching that movie. And of course, now everyone's seen The Matrix and everyone acknowledges that that's his, his grand opus. But, yeah, no, I don't think it's hard at all.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's the answer right there. You got to be open-minded. I think there's a time in everybody's life when they aren't, but you learn how to be eventually. So we read one more. This is from John. It says, Corey, that other white guy. Nick, you're that other white guy.
Yeah, I'm whiter than white. I'm English white.
I was wondering if there were any movies in which you thought that the movie was terrible, but the soundtrack sounded beautiful. For me, my movie would have to be Batman and Robin because it was terrible, but the soundtrack was really good. Yes, I do have an answer for that because we were actually talking about that the other day.
Were we?
Yes, we were. Well, maybe Babalu, Jack, and I were talking about it, but The Crow 2, City of Angels.
Okay,
fuck you.
What?
That was my answer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was like, I got something to pull out of my bag. This is it's a film that, I'm going back 13 years. Oh, fuck. That's my goddamn it. Yeah, no, Crow 2 City of Angels, incredible soundtrack, shitty fucking movie.
Yeah, no, it was a terrible movie, and actually the soundtrack was killer, and I thought when I heard the soundtrack, like The Crow, I was like, wow, this is kind of putting a story together for me, and then the movie just ended up being bullshit. It really hurt me because I love the soundtrack so much. I still listen to that soundtrack.
I got a better one, well, for me anyway, because I've seen Crow 2, but...
a better one?
Yeah.
No, a better one.
Look, I like that.
I think you gotta fuck yourself, Nick.
No, I meant like... It's,
don't you roll up in here and step on our dicks. You could say you've got another one, but you think you can go better than us? Really?
Okay.
Really?
A worse one then. All right.
What is it?
No, it's a shitty movie, but the soundtrack's amazing, which is Queen of the Damned. I love that soundtrack. That soundtrack is
movie was bad.
And the movie, yeah, it's awful. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a roller coaster film. Like every time you think it's getting good, you're like, oh, it's getting it. Oh no, it sucks again. Oh, it sucks again.
Yeah, I saw it on HBO.
I mean, I love the effects in that film where when the vampires incinerate, they like blow up in the air as these kind of big, translucent, like just pieces of ash, which I thought was really cool. And there were some great scenes, but yeah, that movie's shitty. Although the soundtrack didn't really do anything for me. Yeah.
Oh man, that's my favorite soundtrack of all
Here's
time.
another
Well,
one.
you are British. I've heard your music. There's a reason we don't listen to it over here.
Like
here's
Rolling Stones,
okay.
like Beatles, or
In the 60s.
Well,
You got to go back like 40, 50 years.
Spice Girls you listen to. Like, yeah.
Look, he's quiet. He's like, I got that. I got
Shut
that
the
album.
fuck up. Yeah, I do. I fucking love the Spice Girls.
Even I gotta admit,
So
when I
tell me
heard
what
that
I
song,
want, what I really, really want.
I loved it the first time I heard it. Like, who are these fucking girls, man? I love this shit. And like a week later, like, fuck.
When two become one, I need some love like I've never needed love before. I'm gonna
look at me
make
singing
love.
that. Don't look at me when you do that.
Baby, I've had a little love. Now I'm back for more.
Thing is, I can't stop
it
looking at
sucked
them.
in the 90s. Today.
What can you think?
Ooh, Arctic Monkeys.
I like Arctic. They're all right to me. I mean, like
Apparently, their new album is disappointing. Everybody's been tweeting about it.
Prodigy.
Oh, okay. See, Prodigy's new album fucking kicks ass.
You think so?
Oh God, I love their new album.
I think I was just talking about this with you the other day. I think there's really just two songs that are absolutely amazing. The rest are not as amazing as like their previous album.
Well, which two do you think are amazing?
Omen and Invaders Must Die.
You don't like Piranha? Piranha fucking rock. That's the one. Piranha and Run with the Wolves are my two personal favorites off that album. But I also love Omen and Invaders Must Die. That album is just the entire album's on my MP3 player, and it's something I work out to and jog to. New project came out a couple months ago. Fucking incredible. It's called Invaders Must Die. I love the whole album. There's a few tracks on it that, like, I like Stand Up and I like World on Fire. The one that I'm not really big into is Colors and Take Me to the Hospital. But those are the only two that I'm kind of like, I'll skip this one now, but I'll listen to.
They're good. It's just that I expect so much from Prodigy because they influenced my life when I was growing up.
Nick,
and
talking to fucking Mike.
sorry, man. I'm just talking to you. So they weren't I was expecting like Perfect, really. And it just wasn't Fat of the Land, in my opinion.
No, it's not Fat of the Land. In fact, what it is it's more the Prodigy experience. It's him kind of fusing the music he was making with, like, Fat of the Land and what he's been doing recently with a lot of the old sounds that he was using on his first few albums. Because there's a lot of music stylings in there that we haven't heard since the early 90s that he kind of brought back and updated. And that's what I like, is it's kind of a fusion of, this album is a fusion of all his albums together creating a new sound. And I really dig that.
Because Prodigy is really just one guy.
Yes.
And he had
Prodigy.
Yeah, and he had two dancers at one time, and then he had the Firestarter guy that sang like one.
Well, he was one of the dancers.
Yeah. Was he also one of the dancers? But
yeah.
Everybody doesn't realize, like, it's just one guy, really.
Yeah.
Prodigy. So yeah. I gotta check that album out because I actually like Prodigy. Fat of the Land is one of my favorite albums ever.
No, I love Fat of the Land. I really do dig this album. It's so much better than the one he made. Because, God, he made that album early 2002, 2003.
Which one? Wait, Fat of the Land? No.
After Fat of the Land, he put out stuff, and I forget what it's called. But yeah, no. But this thing, I really love the whole album.
And I think "Smack My Bitch Up" is probably my all-time favorite video.
Really, not Firestarter or anything?
No, "Smack My Bitch Up." You've seen the video, right?
That's a fantastic music video. That
you see, I guess maybe that's the thing is, like, I love Fat of the Land, but if I were to pick a favorite Prodigy song, it would be "Voodoo People."
That is a great
because I fucking
answer,
love Voodoo People.
And there's so many different versions of that song, like different remixes, and they all sound so like bang on.
They had a show called Amp. You remember telling you about that on MTV? And they played this remix of Voodoo People.
Yeah, we were talking about it last night.
And and I love that song too. So, but anyway.
And then, of course, I love Outer Space.
I think I've heard that.
Of course, you have.
Yeah.
Live in outer space
to find another race.
No, is it race or place? I can't remember.
I don't even. It's just
never heard
it's
that.
Awesome. It's
never heard that before.
It's kind of like it's a weird fusion of reggae with very fast dance music. It's really a cool fucking song.
Oh, never heard.
He's got a lot of really great stuff. I really love his work, and so I've been meaning to talk about this album for a long time. I'm glad you brought it up because I absolutely adore that album. I've been listening to it so much.
Go over to iTunes and see what this shit's all about.
It's really good, is what it's all about.
Can you think of another album then from a soundtrack?
No, where the soundtrack's good?
Yeah.
Not where the soundtrack... I mean, there's plenty of movies where there's a good soundtrack, but nothing where it's incredible, but where it's like, I love the music, but I hate the movie as much as Crow 2 City of Angels, because that was just... That had so much great stuff. It had White Zombie and the Toadies and just so much good music on it, and it just... in fact, that was the one that he did "I'm Your Boogeyman" for.
Yeah, it was Rob
I'm
Zombie.
your boogeyman.
Yeah, Rob Zombie.
That's what I am.
What else they had? They had the people that you haven't even heard from, and did some of the best work on that album.
Yeah,
PJ Harvey. Mm-hmm. What was that album? The band that
I need to dig that CD out because I've still got it.
Hole did the opening soundtrack. They did a cover of Gold Dust Woman.
Yeah, I hated Holdo, so I skipped over that.
I love that's one of the reasons why I bought that album.
Woman. Oh,
and what was that band? They actually did a really cool song on that soundtrack, and I didn't really like the band that much. Bush, did a really cool song on
Toadies
that.
had Paper Doll, and of course Toadies were. Most people don't know Toadies that well. They might know Possum Kingdom, but here in Texas they were huge.
Yeah, they were from Dallas.
Yeah, they had like half a dozen radio hits here in the Texas area. So like I grew up. I've seen the Toadies perform like half a dozen times. I love the Toadies.
And then they had Iggy Pop do another cover. I Want to Be Your Dog on there. So
Iggy Pop was in the movie,
and he was really bad in the movie.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, it's terrible. But we talked about this last night too. I love the soundtrack to Spawn. You ever listen to the soundtrack to Spawn?
Oh yes, mate.
Yeah, no, the soundtrack. No, the sound. That's another great one. The soundtrack to Spawn was great because they took two bands you normally wouldn't hear together and had them do a song together, do a cover.
They were like hard rock bands and electronic.
In fact,
bands.
the Prodigy did one.
Yeah,
the Prodigy did one with called Diesel.
Diesel Power.
Diesel Power.
I don't think it was that.
No,
one. I think
Diesel
it was,
Power was the opening track for Fat of the Land.
I can't remember.
Which had Cool Keith in it. Dr.
One Man
Octopus.
Army.
One of our okay, and yeah, no, that was a great where they fused rock bands with electronica, and it was really great album. And yeah, that movie sucked dick through a straw. It was fucking terrible.
That was another where I bought
Holy
the album
shit.
and was looking forward to the movie, and it was like, fuck this movie, man. So hey, man,
how do you not like Piranha and Run with the Wolves, man? I just,
Sorry, mate. I mean, I like Spawn because I think it's so shit that I actually find it funny to watch. So
oh, you do?
I like my cheesy action movies. So.
Yeah, you do, man. Your taste sucks. So anyway, well, let's go ahead and go on.
He's British. All right. Well then, good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
So polite.
Good night.